Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It is April 16th, 2026, and I got a few messages here for you. So I've been collecting these since the 11th, and today is the 16th. So, something is bilateral, which is having two sides affecting both sides. Something about a rendezvous, which is a meeting at an agreed time and place, typically between two people. Somebody mentioned Syrian, which is a human-like, coppery or dark-tanned skin with, being with cat-like pupils, hailing from the binary solar system of Sirius, specifically planets orbiting Sirius A. Now, the Nasty Jacks are calling somebody their project, saying, she's our project. And they were told that she is their project now, or somebody else's project now, and they have to stop harassing this person. So that's what the Syrians have told these nasties. She's been enfolded into a new tribe, so these ones they keep trying to attack her and red rum her, and it's a big problem. So she was stronger than they thought. These nasties insist that she needs medicine and that gives them rights to her temple and its contents, the spirit and the soul, the energy, the consciousness, all of it. There's a masculine out there demanding that these ones stop harassing his wife. The curator is talking about some kind of collaboration. Well, collaborating with these ones wound up being a competition, which wasn't a competition at all. It was a straight up pirating, thieving, and red rumming of trusting collaborators who did not realize that collaboration with these ones simply meant it was a death sentence so that they could harvest and then work with all of the energy that they collaborated to gain, right? I mean, I don't know, whatever. So they're talking about some kind of collaboration. There is something about cornflower. Wasn't there a ship called the Cornflower or something that those stupid little pox, blankets, alcohol, gifters, whatever, came in and gave everybody? But what I got from that was that in the territory of these divine beings, these new people, divine feminines, it's going to be cornflower, not wheat, because these ones have genetically modified the wheat, and there's something wrong with it. I don't know, but corn, I know that the indigenous people have safeguarded the purity of the corn for thousands of years. So it could be that there is going to be some cornflower, and that will be what they make their breads out of and such, as well as other plants and stuff. This cornflower is a symbol of hope, worn by young men in love. If the flower faded too quickly, it was taken as a sign that the man's love was not returned. So superstition could be some kind of superstitious thing that is going on in the minds of these men. I don't know, take it as it resonates. It could be the new flower. Again, in this territory, will be made of corn, not wheat, because the wheat has been genetically modified. It's this gluten thing. It's poison. There's talk of character assassination. These nasty jags have been slandering divine feminines for centuries. They've been filing false reporting with the ancestors for centuries, calling them prostitutes while they've been prostituting them, starting as babies. There's something about Ayatollah, which is a high-ranking senior cleric in Twelver Shia Islam, serving as a teacher, legal expert, and spiritual guide. They've mentioned Ayatollah, I think this is the third time. There's something about kinetic energy, which is energy produced by being in motion. Running water, that's what they're, the windmills, the water mills, wheels, the exercising, running, working out. The Nasty Jack is still talking about medicines. They're really hung up on this, man. I mean, it's their go-to. It's like their only sabotage left. It's like, oh no. So they're thinking that because of these medicines, they can use whatever is in this medicine. It could be a graphene, or it could actually be a nanobot or something. But they say that if there's medicine in the temple housing spirit and soul, that they can use it as a connector and a bridge to whatever dimension or timeline you're on. They still believe that with these medicines, that they will be able to latch on to the temple with some sort of a frequency in order to transfer a soul spirit complex through a portal or a wormhole. They're talking about their right to claim an emancipated soul of a woman belonging to God, resurrected, ascended, granted some status, freed, wed into another tribe. These nasties are now coming up against her actual tribe of ancestors and the one that she's married into. They're insane. They're addicted, is what they are, to the powerful force of these divine women. You've surpassed them. These guys didn't want to raise the bar. They wanted to lower the bar. They wanted to be down here in Lustville, and they wanted all the women to be below them, beneath them. And the problem of that is that your soul and your spirit and your upper dimensional connections are so far beyond what these entities are that they're embarrassed. They've been playing games, siphoning your love and pretending that they were that, while piling all of their orgies, their lust, their heinous deeds onto your energy field. I got number message 333, which is encouragement, spiritual alignment, a cosmic thumbs up. Focus on moving forward. The curator and their buddies were discussing conspiracy theories. Now, the oracles and the prophets and the prophetesses have been trying to alert people for a long time. People who have information and that they've been out there trying to talk, and they've been being silenced. And they've been ridiculed and slandered as spreading conspiracy theories. They've lost their lives trying to alert the public as to what's been going on. They could have been deceitfully convicted of slandering the so-called, righteous ones, and then sent into a fire or some other recyclable, shitty life. All right, so at 7:30 p.m. on April 13th, 2026, there was something about pierce the veil and proceed with caution. The curator and his friends are talking about negotiations, and then somebody else said something about exposure. I had a vision of a bar graph, sort of like on your phone when you in your battery, your battery level or whatever. And it was like all the way to the end, except for just a little bit. And there was a rose there, a flower. So I took that to mean that it was showing a near completion of the graph, of the timeline where the rose had been, going through all this nasty business. It's the end of them trapping the love of the rose, of hurting love. So this timeline is nearing an end, Rose, of all of those. This is your last lifetime story. They can't trap you. They can't keep you. They can't continue to recycle you through all of these various timelines. They can't continue to harvest your energy and use it to hurt people and things and beings that you love while creating some nasty story about you. The truth is out. It's been illuminated. One of these nasty characters said something about a Puerto Rican, and they were talking about someone being sedated. So their nasty mental magic done daily, according to a few days ago messaging, for over 20 years, these people were doing daily magic to try to get institutionalized the oracles, the prophets and prophetesses, those who had undergone a shattering and then an infiltration and, this weird principality, personality kind of crap that we had to kind of work our way through and then command. So, anyway, somebody needs to be sedated because it's a really horrifying experience. This mental magic where they got thousands of these people all attacking your mind at once, telling you what a lazy bitch you are, how you should just go get in the middle of a raging river and try to tread water, trying to mess with your mind and your vulnerabilities to get you to take yourself out. And I guess a lot of people are, because they're not able to withstand or resist the seeds of their work. And it's very sad. Their interdimensional guide or guru or whatever is telling the curator that they need to resist it. They're sedated. Having really bad anxiety. They did a lot of death magic. There seems to be some interviews happening, some questioning of the so-called elite class. A female is contradicting herself. The curator said something about the next step further. They're talking about heart attack magic, and he's saying something to the left or even to the right. Whatever that means. A while back, he said that his aneurysm magic wasn't working. A different masculine in the background said, "I'm done." And the curator or somebody is talking about getting rid of the evidence. Whatever that means. These fellows are saying they are connected to her. So they haven't lost connection yet. They are losing connection to the consciousness that they've hijacked and have made a party house out of for centuries. They've been having parties in the consciousness of high priestesses that have been trapped and then brutalized as children and then recycled through these horrific lifetimes, while they've been harvesting the lifespan of energy and the gifts and then utilizing it to prolong and empower their own lives. So they're talking about getting rid of the evidence, whatever that is. They're connected to her, so they haven't lost or forfeited the connection. They need to forfeit the connection. They don't have any rights. They've lost all of their privileges. This is not their house. They don't have a contract. The person that they still connect to is emancipated, freed, elevated. But because there's medicine in the body, they feel that they have the right to use her as a bridge and a connector to these upper dimensional spaces and places that they wish to continue to bring war to and snatch up high vibrational souls and trap them with their baneful magic. So now we got this thing, and there's a lot of people who are wondering, why is this going on? Well, there's a lot of folks out there, that are just regular people, you know, that are undergoing these same circumstances, and they can't get by. They can't get out of it. So there needs to be the experience. And how are you going to get out of it? You can't just command it to go away, because most people can't do that. They have to learn how to alchemize it. They have to learn to defend themselves with it using whatever there is, right? So anyhow, they're connected to her, so they haven't lost connection yet. They are losing it, but they have not quite lost it yet. It's very quiet, but they're still there. And they were talking about an uicide mission. So they know that to take this person out, or to eliminate this person, and the threat that they feel it holds to their own ability to remain and to continue agent smithing people, these principalities, they got to eliminate this person. And so they're wanting somebody to go do a thing. I heard, and it's in the notes later, I heard what sounded like Donald T. telling one of his puppets that he was going to have to walk in his shoes, that there was this red rumming thing that needed to be done. So he was going to like puppet or Agent Smith somebody, this principality, and then do a dirty deed, and then they were going to go to prison and do time and whatever. Okay, now I'm not saying that's who it was. I'm saying this is what I picked up on. They seem to think that if there is medicine in her temple, her flesh suit, that the medicine can be used as a bridge and a connector to the realm that she inhabits, and that they can get in there, and that they can walk in her shoes, and that they can drive her mind and affect the words that she speaks. Or perhaps parasite somehow. Yeah, this is a weird thing. Now, the thing about this is that people need medicine, right? So there needs to be some kind of a solution provided. You can't just say, I mean, you know, anybody who's got medicine isn't allowed, because people need medicine, and all of the elements of this medicine belong to the planetary mother. And so these ones are just misusing this, and there needs to be a solution. Because generations down the road, you know, you don't want them to have to deal with this. So there needs to be a solution to the way that they focus on the metals or whatever it is that's in the medicines, and use that to drive minds, or to agent smith people, to hijack their spiritual body and to travel into these spaces. They've been ordered to cease and desist using all medicines as connectors and bridges, but they're refusing to stop. They think that they have rights somehow because of this medicine, and the medicine doesn't belong to them. It doesn't. But it's their, I guess, number 2 favorite weapon of war. Number 1 is marrying into the clan and then systematically destroying whatever realm belongs to that specific frequency or dimensional being. These masculines were talking about how they KIL'd her 17 times as an infant, not a toddler or a small child or a young adult, an infant, 17 times. You know, you're born, and then these men get a hold of you and they do their thing. And there's also all of these other brutalizing things, like roasting you in the bowl, burning you at the stake many times, actually crucifying you like they did Jesus and so many other children and other beings in the world throughout the centuries. It's like they chose one identity and then they said, that's the one. And it's like, no, this happens to everybody, even regular people. And this can't continue to happen. So they're talking about this powerful woman. She is a daughter of a lion, or a daughter of somebody very powerful, a bloodline that they thought that they had exterminated. They thought that this person was a myth when she first popped up, and that the protectors that are with her were also. They've been lying about this person for centuries. They thought that they had eliminated the entire bloodline, and that they had burned the bridges, and that this bloodline would never, ever, ever return to this realm. But they were wrong. It's like they had this powerful woman's spirit on lockdown at the age of 17. For some reason, 17 is one of their favorite numbers. They KIL'd her 17 times as an infant. They burned her alive many times. It could have been 17, I don't know. But it's like they had her stuck in spirit at the age of 17, innocent and pure. There was no malice in her. And they kept sacrificing her in the spirit over and over and over again. And not just her, but like many. I'm speaking singular, but there are many, okay? Because they separated the spirit from the temple housing the soul and the soul connection, and then they hexed and cursed the crown, and then they intercepted the messaging. When they shatter the heart, this weird trollop, angel, devil, siphons the love from the shattered heart and wears it and heals with it and is sweet and loving with it, but there's no roots. Their roots are buried, right? And they claim the memories, but they've never suffered or gathered the resilience and the ability to persevere through extreme challenge. So yeah, 17 seems to be one of their favorite numbers. I don't know exactly why. But they do separate seemingly so most people, they don't recognize that they dream. But over in the dreamland, their spirit self is being Agent Smith by these principalities, and they're over there doing things, and they are creating the illusion that the people are doing stuff that they aren't doing. They don't even recognize that they're dreaming. That's because somebody's hijacking their spirit vessel, their chariot, setting them up for failure, walking in their shoes to do a dirty deed, and then deceitfully convicting them of doing it when all they're doing is getting a night's sleep so they can get up and go to work the next day. These guys have been playing games in the 4D with life and reputation. But finally, the curse is broken. Many generational curses have been broken, and everybody's free. Those who were deceitfully convicted, all of those indigenous tribes that they had tried to exterminate, pharaohs whose bones they were picking over and doing genetic experiments with. I had a vision. There were 2 eggs sunny side up, but the egg yolk looked like blood. So there are beings in the world that have been making fake eggs. I don't know what's in the yolk. It looked like blood. It wasn't just sunny side up, a bright orange. No, it was like bloody. It could be poisonous. It could be that there is some kind of a chemical in there that when it's ingested, I don't know. There's something going on, man. There could be something genetically modified about it that's toxic to the human body or the spirit soul. It might do something to the gates of the energy of the rainbow chakra. I don't know. It's just was a vision. Caution regarding the eggs. The creator was talking about a woman saying she was an opportunist. He's telling a masculine to take her out to lunch or something to convince her. He wants to capture this powerful divine feminine initiate that has escaped. He wants to make an example out of her. He's fantasizing about it. The first thing he's going to do to her, he says, he likes to say that a lot. Boy, these guys are getting off on the idea of torturing this person. He's really liking the idea of that. And he's very insistent that these people help him sabotage her and get the females to help. There's a whole bunch of people around him that are saying, no, give me one good reason. But he's got plenty of reasons why he wants to get rid of this woman that he himself and all of the other ones throughout the last couple of years that he was able to convince to go after her were not able to eliminate her. She is a daughter of the Most High. She's emancipated and free, married into another tribe, yet these entities keep going after her, attacking her. He claims that she's too powerful, and the truth is that these entities have been living a very low vibrational, low level, low requirement life. They're just out there fucking the world, making profit off of pimping purity. And the women, the mothers who actually grow tiny bodies inside of themselves and then push out a whole being equipped with spirit, soul, and source connection, man, these guys hate that. They've been trying to turn the women, these divine gatekeepers, the womb, and all of the Star Nation soul tribes, they've been trying to turn them into low vibrational prostitutes by being that and forcing them under their feet. But these women are like very way up there, and they've been filing false reports with all of the ancestors about their degradation, but they have desecrated everybody, and they know very well who these powerful divine women are. So when they take them out, when they sacrifice them or unalive them or do this nasty shit, and then they're rebirthed and they're given a number, I mean, before they're two, they're usually attacked by these entities again and defiled and desecrated, and it just goes on and on and on, lifetime after lifetime. And it's crazy, but it's coming to an end. They did not want to raise the bar to properly compete with the powerful divine feminine. They wanted to lower her bar, take away her schooling, her education, her source connection, her liberation. So this curator is gathering all of these puppets around, instructing them to destroy a powerful woman yet again and steal her merchandise while he continues torturing her soul. This entity who cannot compete, he doesn't have the power necessary to take her out. He's got to hire people or get people, convince them somehow to go do a thing, to do the dirty work for him because he's incapable. They're loyal to a punk. The only reason he ever had any power in the first place was because his ancestors long, long ago actually knew what they were doing. But then everybody got real lazy. They got infected. They got genetically modified. They got drunk. They got high on believing that they were just like the angels they were consuming. Fraudulent. So he's hiring people to go after these women. They need to re-trap them, but that's not going to happen. The royal mother stated to be prepared. They're not going to survive. So there's some big things. There's going to be a great falling away. And may every evil intention for the women that they are attacking be these entities' gift, because God stated that their intention shall be their gift. So may all ill will be returned to them promptly, and may they be removed from the divine feminine's foundation. May she not serve them. This is ridiculous. Why should she be required to serve these entities that are continuously attacking her, trying to unalive her? I mean, she deserves safety just as much as the children do. And again, I'm speaking in the singular, but there's many of you. So in this new chapter, folks deserve an environment that is safe, without these masculines hunting people. So while they were talking, it's like those fellows need to get rid of their leader. Obviously, he's insane, or apparently everything around their leader will be eliminated. Of course, that could have just been my own sleepy time fantasy, because I don't even know that I sleep deeply anymore. I think maybe it's getting better because I'm not really interested in listening to these people anymore. Oh, and plus they're just fading away. But that could just mean that they're getting desperate too and more dangerous. Apparently, there is a virgin out there, and one of these masculines said, "I like her." And somebody is there telling these ones to be careful of what they say, and somebody else said, "Into the waters." Now, I've recently come to know that they gather together and they gather together and they concentrate on a picture or whatever. It's okay. So yes, the hardening of the waters. So they gather together and they focus on a picture. I'm assuming, because I don't know what else they would focus on unless they had something to look at. But it's like they focus on a person and then they focus on the waters. So into the waters to me means like there is the medicine. It's in the waters. There's graphene, nanobots, whatever that is. They seem to be able to focus into the waters and then switch the frequency up somehow. I don't know if they have technology or if it's all their brain power or whatever. But it has something to do with this medicine. So there's something into the waters. Of course, you know, I think they deal with that Leviathan character too. So I don't know if they're all going into the waters. But the other day they were talking about nuclear waste in the waters. So about a year or so ago, I went in the Astral to the Roman Colosseum. And all the waters there were like acid. There was a like a pond, lake, and I pulled up in my van and I get out and there's some men there and they said, oh yeah, it's a real nice lake, you know. So just there was a bar there, like a gymnastics bar, and he goes, just swing yourself right in. So I got my swimming suit on and I went and I grabbed that bar and I went like a gymnast and I went floom and threw myself into the water, and I was kind of butterfly swimming and stuff, and it was like really warm, like a hot springs or something. And I'm like, oh, this is great, and I'm just treading water. Before I know it, somebody off the shore over there took their shoe off and they touched the water with their toe and then they quickly yanked it back. But apparently the waters in that place, they couldn't flush the toilets, they couldn't use the bathtub, the waters were bad, they couldn't use the waters. So apparently back in the Roman Colosseum days, we've had a situation like this where everything's been toxified, poisoned. And that's what these entities do. They poison and toxify everything. So now they're saying into the waters. So to me, that says they're looking at poisoning the waters because they don't want to give it up. You know, they got to leave, and so they want to poison everything. But, of course, there are limitless numbers of universes, and God has the goddesses of time. They've all been reclaimed, and so it will be whatever it will be that he decides. And those upper dimensional supremes, right? The families from the multiverse who came to everybody's prayer. So these nasty hats, you know, these masculines, they might be dumping yet more nuclear waste into the waters. I mean, we've got nuclear reactors that are still leaking into the water, these nuclear waste. But the animals, the swimming ones and all of that, they're being claimed. And the bees and all of that, they've already been claimed. Apparently, they've already been transferred. So, you know, a lot of that stuff is leaving this realm, but that's just being relocated to its proper space. You know, and with the Roman Colosseum and the waters like that, and them talking about these nuclear waste and them saying into the waters, it's like, it reminds me, it's like these are like Roman principalities or something. I don't know who the Romans were. Are they archons? They learned how to fracture the rainbow chakra system, and then they can, you know, break the gate, and then the principality can step in and drive the personality. And according to these entities, they can walk in somebody's shoes and do something, and then that person, you know, there was a thing once where a mother took her minivan, she drove it onto the beach, and she had all 4 of her kids in the van, and she like drove straight into the freaking ocean. And there was people there, and they ran there, and they got all the kids out and stuff, and they got her. But she was like wide-eyed. Her eyes were like big, like dollar signs. You could see the white all the way around it, like she was in psychosis. And she was in a dazed state of mind. And it was just like, man, she was driven by a principality. This crap is happening all the time. You got these kids and these other people that are out there on psych meds, and their mental is very vulnerable, you know, and as transmitter receivers, you know, of messaging, we're very delicate and sensitive messaging systems, organic, and these people know how to hijack the transmitter receiver. They know how to harden the waters. With this occult stuff, they know how to drive a mind. So somebody said the name Amanda, and somebody said the word tradition. So it sounded as though she was confessing how they've been trained to shatter the heart space, the chakra of the heart, to destroy, and then to suck the love out of the heart, and then to step in, to shatter the hearts of high priestesses, empresses, and these initiates that are coming forward about ready to receive their crown. They step in and they shatter this space, and they suck the love out. They feed on the love. They suck it up. And then they step in and they offer the person's spouse, spiritual spouse, a healing, and then they draw them off of the female. It's a tradition. They were trained how to do this, how to step in to a high priestess or an empress or some other initiate about ready to receive their crown, to step in and then to wield that spiritual authority in the other realm, while the actual true is left here separated to suffer and not receive any damn thing, while this bitch continues sucking her straw, sucking the love out of you. You never can be happy. You can't have any kids. You can't do anything because she's living your life with your husband. So it sounded like she was confessing. It's a tradition. Creating fragmentation and then slipping in to wear the identity of a soul that suffered tremendously for many lifetimes to earn this reward. To step in and rob the divine masculine of his powerful, deeply rooted, and still loving powerhouse of a wife. To step in as just some selfish and angelic being feeding on the love of his actual spouse. They've been sleeping with their enemies, who've been taking the identity of their graduated wives right there, bringing a shattering. And because I don't know if there's full-on awareness of this, but it's subtle, painful, and obvious at the same time. That's how they've been gaining reward. The actual true angelic beings, earth angels, they earn their reward. God comes in, refreshes our rainbow covenant. All the colors are there, and you get your rewards, you get your status, you're about ready to come in, get your crown, and enter into your stuff, and they come in and break the freaking rainbow. Suck up the love, and then step in as though they are the love, when they don't give a shit about anybody, man. These are devils doing baneful magic in the land of angels. Sucking from a straw, from the heart of the actual true. So that's how they've been gaining their reward. They feel that they own all of the merchandise of the earth angels. This is how they've been taking it. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. This is their tradition. The angel does baneful dark magic to destroy the newly mastered initiate. Cheap shots and low blows and necklaces made out of shattered hearts, while they stick a straw in the true divine and drink from her essence, marrying and having children with her hijacked spouse, becoming an alcoholic, being a bad mother, ruining the reputation of the woman whose heart she has a straw stuck in. Ruining her reputation. They're talking about motion detectors, and there's something about outsiders. Apparently this new territory has high security. There's cameras everywhere, there's motion detectors everywhere. They're on high alert for outsiders. Apparently, Sacagawea and her relatives, her brothers and sisters are there, and they're hunting these people. There is no more giving the best of everything to outsiders, because we now know, after this whole scenario, that the outsiders have only intended harm. So who's in is in, and who's out is out. There's an earth angel who's been emancipated. So then it sounded like, this is where I thought I heard somebody who sounded like Donald T. say, da-da-da-da, gotta stand in your shoes, da-da-da-da, as though he was informing one of his puppets that he was going to Agent Smith him and then puppet him. There's something about an uicide mission. So that's what it is. I mean, he's got somebody on the payroll, or he's got somebody that's part of the team that's going to go on an uicide mission and then wake up in another timeline or something. I don't know, but he's a principality, an agent smithing principality, whoever this entity is. I'm not saying that that's who it is. I'm just saying that's what it sounded like. But there's a lot of these weird, I mean, they were talking about Syrians earlier, right? And the Syrians are like, hey, you know, there's somebody else's project now. Don't know what to tell you. I mean, they're barking up the wrong tree or asking the wrong people. So anyway, that is the message. Like, again, that was from the 11th of April to now the 16th. And see you on the next one, everybody.